Hi, everybody. My name's Anthony Hines. For the last 40 plus years, I've been trying to help people with their career, help people in their job search, and help people to get themselves moving if, in fact, they're at a place where they don't seem to be making any progress, whether it be in a current job or trying to get their next job. I have a ton of podcasts. They're all out on Podbean, and we'd like you to go out and check them out. Some of them they're done in my car. Why? Because I thought of an idea, and I figured that if you're a job seeker, you don't really care where I give you that information. You care about getting it. So the fact is, I don't wait. When I come up with an idea, I start a podcast and I go. If I'm in my car and you hear fire engines, guess what? That's life. You're going to hear it because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you information. I'm trying to help you in your job search, trying to help you get moving, trying to help you get going. I have tons of followers out there. Please become a patron on Podbean and help me out to spread the word about my podcasts as well as all my other job search tips. Make sure you go to my LinkedIn profile. Again, Anthony Hines. Go to my LinkedIn profile and pick up my job search article. What it does is gives you all kinds of tips about how to get your job search moving. Thousands of people have listened to it, have taken the information. Thousands of people listen to the podcast. Thousands of people have downloaded my information. So, and nobody's ever complained that it's useless. So I will tell you, it's got value. It's going to have some value. That I can promise you. How much? That's up to you. Okay, today we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about how to get your job search moving when there are real challenges in the environment. Things like pandemics, things like weather issues, things like real problems where people cannot get together physically. So, what I'd like to do is let you know what I would do if, in fact, I was looking and I had to get some traction in my job search. And the fact of the matter is, if you have a situation like a pandemic where a lot of people don't want to meet physically, I'm going to tell you what I would do to get your job search moving. Okay? So basically, how to get a job search moving in a pandemic. I'm not going to tell you it's going to guarantee to work, but I'm going to tell you it's good ideas that'll help you out. First of all, I want you to do this. When you go on the internet, I want you to look up the Book of Lists, Lists, the Book of Lists. It is created by business journals across the country for the major cities that they're in. Get the Book of Lists. In that book, you will see lists of companies in various industries. You can get it at the library, you can get it online. You may have to pay for it. Sorry, that's life. But the fact of the matter is, if you go to the library, or if you're able to get into the library, you might be able to take a look at it for free. Hey, regarding free versus paid, sometimes you got to buy things. Okay, I'm not telling you that it's bad if it's paid or it's bad if it's free. Sometimes you got to buy things. All right. So in this book of lists, you're going to see the top 50 companies in an area in, say, insurance, the top 50 companies in banking, the top 100 retailers, all of the different industries that you may have never thought to look in. Okay, you're going to get that book of lists and you're going to look for pertinent companies that you want to work for because they're going to tell you in that book, they're going to tell you the location of the companies and they're going to tell you where they are in proximity to you. So the fact is, you can base your search now geographically based on where the companies are placed, as well as by industry, just by watching that list and following it. Some lists are the top 100 companies. You've got to go out and get it. Okay, it's called the Book of Lists, and it's affiliated with the Business Journal of your city. Like in Boston, we have it affiliated with the Boston Business Journal. So go out and get it. First thing. Second thing, when you get that list, get all your companies, right? I want you to go and create career job search alerts for every company that you have listed that you want to work on. Now, these companies, you're going to find a ton more companies than you ever thought existed. All right, new startups, things like that. You're going to create job alerts at all these companies, and then they're going to email you when you get, when you get a job that's like your skills. okay, based on the alert you set up. But widen your net, people, widen your net, because the fact of the matter is, it's not just a few companies that you think of and a few companies you know. You go to the book a list, you widen your net, you go out, you figure it out, and then you get a ton of alerts. Fine. Okay. Now, next thing, make a list of all the people you know that are on LinkedIn that are not linked to you, and go out and ask them to link to you. Okay. You got time. You're going to be, you may not be available to go out and meet them, but go out and link to them and see what you can do. Okay. Because here's why. When you apply at companies, I want you to have people inside of every company, so that when you apply, you reach out to that contact in that company and you say, John, this is Steve. I just applied in your company. Here's the job search. Here's the job. Here's what I applied for. Here's the cover letter. Here's the like. You know, can you pass it on to HR? Or do you have anybody in HR that you could introduce me to? Look, people, I do this a ton of times. I have people inside a lot of companies. What I do, our friends or acquaintances come out and they say, Anthony, can you introduce me to this person? And you know what? Not every introduction is going to work. But the fact is, if you go out and get introduced to somebody in a company, by that contact you have in the company, now you're doing networking at your chair, okay? And now you might be able to get moving in your job search by doing the contacts. So get the book a list, develop the job alerts, increase your LinkedIn people based on the people you don't have that you forgot about. Go out and get them, see where they are, and then look for people, even if they're second level connections on LinkedIn, to introduce you to people within the company, so that you can get that application once you apply. Based on the job alert you received, once you apply, you go out to those people, you ask them to pass your resume on to HR, and you make a contact. See if they introduce you to a recruiter. Who knows? They might be able to. I do it 100 times. I get a ton of recruiters that come to me all the time, and they they want my people. I have no problem giving you people. Fact of the matter is, don't be not getting back to them. You want to get on my bad list? You want to get on my black list? I'll tell you that. Don't get back to the people that I give you. You're done. If you're a recruiter and you do that to me, you're done. You are off my list. Why? Because I know that feeling when people don't get back to you. So that's not my point. Is this: make the application based on the job alert you get. Go out, reach out to your contacts in the company, see if they can introduce you to a recruiter. All right. So now we try to progress where we can. All right. Very good. Now, assume that your interviews are going to be phone interviews. Okay. So, or they're going to be FaceTime interviews, or they're going to be Zoom interviews, or they're going to be WebEx interviews, right? Where you might have a camera on you. Number one, here's what I want you to do. I want you to have a specific place in your house or your apartment where you do all of these interviews. Okay? A specific place that's set up like a stage, so that everybody sees it to be professional and looking like an area that is a work area. Because I want people to subconsciously, when they interview with you, feel that they're in an office setting. Okay? Then I want you to obviously dress up at the interview and dress up as you would physically do at a regular interview, because you know what? It is a regular interview. And if it's a FaceTime interview, obviously, I want you to dress in the suit like you would in a regular interview. Fact is, if it's a phone interview, you should still dress up, because you think differently and you act differently when you have when you're dressed up, and you think more professionally. So the fact of the matter is, I want you to do that. Now, if you're on a phone interview, I want you to have out in front of you, because you now have the advantage. I want you to have your questions, your comments about the company. I want you to have all of your keywords you want to say, your key items. I want them in big font in the papers in front of you, so you make sure you say them. You basically have a script right in front of you, in a phone interview or even in a FaceTime interview. You have a script. So you drive that interview based on the fact that you have all that information. You want, obviously, your questions. You want your keywords. You want your 30-second speech. You want your skills. You want everything that you have that you want to make sure that you say to that person. Okay? Have that ready. And then that way you're making sure that you get everything out in that interview. Now, when you're also doing the phone interview, remember, you're not going to get the hiring manager in the first interview. Make sure that your mindset is based on the person that you're interviewing with. If it's an HR generalist, you make sure you connect with that person. I don't care how you do it. You want to connect with every level of person that you talk to. And don't bring them the same spiel at every interview. You have to base the interview on who the receiver is, because you got to show people that you can get along with people at different levels. So the fact is, I want you to be ready, and I want you to think about that mindset regarding that premise, okay? So make sure that whoever the interview is with, whether it's a FaceTime or the like, or a phone, that you know the level of the person you're at, and you make sure you connect with that person by talking with them about your skills at that level. Very key, very, very key, because you don't want that person to float away, okay? Now, if you want to learn about the company, go out to Glassdoor. Find out about the culture of the company, glassdoor.com. Find out about the culture of the company. Make sure your answers are pertinent to the culture of that company. Go out, get that information. Should be in your work notes. Should be ready to go. Should be helpful. If you have questions about the culture, get it from Glassdoor. And then that way you'll have some information regarding culture, and that way you're not clueless on this. Now here's something else I want you to do. I want you to create a PowerPoint about you, okay? I don't care what level you put in each slide, but slides are able to be looked at by people that are there physically or not physically there. I personally don't believe the slides should look beautiful. I believe they should have pertinent information and good data about yourself and key items that people will remember. But I want you to create a PowerPoint, because that way that PowerPoint is not going to be created by everybody, and it's going to talk about you and talk about your skills and do it in such a way that you can talk about them based on keywords and items that are in that PowerPoint and the slides of that PowerPoint. Okay? Like for instance, you could say diverse skill set. That's all you may say. Okay? Diverse skill set. I've run projects. I've run infrastructure. I've run operations teams. I've run disaster recovery. My point is, key items in that PowerPoint to make sure you're able to talk about those key items during the interview. So you take these and you together go through the PowerPoint with the person. Now it's like you're there. They're connected to you, and you're doing it by phone, or you're doing it by FaceTime or the like. But the fact is, they're connected because you created a PowerPoint about how your skills and how they affect, how they are built for the company, how you're going to add value to the company right away, how you're going to save money right away, why your skills are great, why when they hire you, you can do basically 3 different jobs for the price of one, because you've done skills in many, you've done jobs in many areas, how you're great in customer service, how you're great in other things. Fact of the matter is, in that PowerPoint, that is your book, people. That is what you use to develop yourself so that people get an understanding of how good you are. And remember, they are not going to get this from everyone. So then you take it and you go and you build it. All right? And then you use it based on your own needs and your own knowledge. Okay? Also, too, during the interviews, you ask, obviously, what the next step is, and if follow-up is needed, who they should talk, who you should email, and who you should reach out to. And you're doing this, people, from your house. You're doing this from your room. You're doing this from your apartment. You're doing this from a common area in your where you live, so that the physical presence is not something that you absolutely need to do. And you use the items that you have at your disposal to create to create a good sense to the person you're interviewing with. You connect with them and you build it. Okay? You take all these items and I guarantee you will be someone that will be at least thought about for the going to the next level. And you just do it again for the next level, and you do it at the you know, however that person is at the next level. You got to tweak things. Okay? So think about these things when you're applying, and think about when you're, you know, when you're trying to deal with the aspects of things like a pandemic, or, as I say, weather related items, or things where you can't physically be together. Because you know what? Another thing people remember, everybody's on edge, right? So you want to be the one that's not on edge. You want to be the one that's patient. You want to be the one that's together. You want to be the one that's organized. You want to be the one that's leading. You want to be the one that gets it. Because if you're doing well in a stressful time, you're going to be well thought of by a company, because they're going to want you. They're going to want you because you handle stress well. Stress management is a very key, very, very key ability that most people want, because you know what? Companies are under a lot of stress today, between the internet, 24/7 ordering, the press, all kinds of stuff, right? Government regulations, all kinds of stuff. They're all under a lot of stress. And if you can handle stress, and if you can handle stress management and show this by being organized during these trying times, guess what? You're going to look good. Another example, things that you can control in this process. So I hope these ideas really help you out and make sense for you, because people do still get jobs. I just want you to use these scenarios and use these little tips so that you take control and you become the one that is looked upon the best in these situations. Hi, my name is Anthony Hines, and go to my LinkedIn profile, get my LinkedIn job search article, and check out all my podcasts on Podbean. Remember, everybody, your career is your responsibility. So it's up to you to make this happen. Don't wait for anybody else to do it, because they got their own life to live. You go out and you do it yourself. Second thing, let's end unemployment one person at a time. I can't do it without your help. Please spread the word about my podcast. Please become a follower. Please become a patron. And please let everybody you know who's unemployed about my tips. I've been doing them for 10 years, people, and they work. Let me tell you, people, they work. I can't guarantee you they'll get you a job or anything like that. But I will tell you this, they're going to make you more confident. They're going to make you better at what you do, because when you're confident and you're controlling what you can't control, guess what? The process works better for you. Have a great day, everybody, and stay safe. Bye-bye now.